So probably you can start. Uh, Very good evening to you all. So nice to see you. We can start one by one. We can start from Kalyan.
Uh, Hi, my name is Kalyan and I'm working in Capgemini right now. Yeah, that's it.
And also provide. I mean, on what domain you're working and
I'm currently working. Yeah, I'm currently working on Hadoop actually. So
okay,
I want to shift to Azure right now.
great, great. Okay, good to know.
Good evening,
And
Suresh.
also,
This
and
side.
also one more thing I wanted to ask. See, this is completely a new class which is going to start from the beginning.
Yeah, it
Hello?
is you are starting about the first session you are saying.
Actually, I used to be in Harem, sir. Ganesh, if you can tell me. Actually, I used to be in some other class.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it went on for like 6, 7 classes. This is beginning of a class.
Yeah, this is today is the first lecture. I mean, it's a demo lecture, I can say.
Okay,
So
fine.
if you have any queries, Ganesh, you will be the right
Yeah,
person to answer
yeah,
for that.
sure. I'll ask you. Thanks.
Yeah, good evening, Suresh. Ramkumar this side. Hello.
Hi, Ram. Hi, hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Uh, I'm currently working for TCS as a business intelligence developer, working on Power BI.
Okay, great.
So I do have around 3.2 years of experience on Power BI as well SQL, and I feel upcoming future is with cloud. So I would like to be into Azure development side.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Good to know. Fine. Thank you. Rest. I can see.
Hi Suresh,
Yeah.
myself Srikanth. I was working in Oracle Technical, so I took a break quite some time. So I'm rejoining. For that I choose Azure Data Engineer, okay, for next job.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Shahida Islam. I have no experience. I'm fresher. So I did 2 masters in Canada. Actually, my first one is the electrical and computer engineer, and my core is going like data science. So, and after that, I did another masters. It is in clouds. So now I'm thinking I'll go like I moved to like a data engineer. So for the data engineer, you have to choose like one of the cloud. So now Azure is the popular, not the AWS. That's why I'm thinking, like I have to go like Azure side. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shaida. Uh, so I hope everyone done with their introduction. If anyone else is pending, then Ganesh, I hope everyone done right. Yeah. Let me take. I'll not take much time. I'll just take a few minutes to brief about myself. I'm a corporate trainer and a faculty member. I also work in a corporate industry as well with around 12 years experience. Within the technology industry, specialization is in curriculum designing, learning and database administration, development, and e-learning. So I have a proven record of delivering the software training and leadership development programs to build a world-class organization with the skilled resources to the organization. So to coming on to the adapting to develop innovative training curriculums to enhance the performance. That's main passion which I was doing from the years with sync with working with the corporate industries as well. So I will probably when we go each one of the class, I'll take you to the more in-depth way, like where we are heading and what are the things we'll be talking. So this is all about me. Fine, thank you. So before we start with the class, I mean, I would be taking you to, definitely we'll be talking you. I'll share my screen so that shall I switch on my video? Ganesh, is you required a video or it's necessary or what?
The video is not required. If we can able to share screen share is more than enough.
Okay, fine, that's fine. I'll share my screen.
And
I'll just walk through it.
and also, Suresh, there is some sound from your end in the sense like, maybe are you using any fan or something?
It's very far. I kept it very far now. I hope it is not less
Yeah, now,
audible.
now it is better. Now it's
No, it's
better.
better, right? Fine, fine. We'll be fine with it. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. Before I start with this PPT, I would be having a couple of questions from you guys, with everyone who thought of doing a data engineer. Uh, Azure is one of the platform I can say. Yes, you have likewise many tools which will be implementing in terms of data engineer. So coming on to entire world is thinking about some points like why there is a driven change in data. So when one thought comes to your mind, so what is a primary job of a data engineer? Why you must have thought about like, yes, I wanted to go for a data engineer. There might be something which triggered to you guys, right? So any one point which you guys tell me, you might have definitely you're working with a corporate, you would be having understanding of what it deals with data engineering. There are several hierarchies in data engineer. I would be walk through this PPT definitely, but before I go ahead with that, I would be having couple of points to ask, so which will make you comfortable in whichever the way. Because what my point is, on an average, like why you guys thought about data engineer? Why data engineer? Why not other things? You have there is a hierarchy, I can say. Uh, Data analyst you have, data engineer you have, data scientist you have. I hope you guys know about this point, right? So when you talk about data, one guy will do a data analyst, one guy will do a data engineering, and one guy will do a data scientist. So why data engineer? Can anyone just one point which comes to you guys, like what makes you to think about data engineer?
Suresh, I would like to mention few things
Mm-hmm.
about data engineer. Uh, in my last project, we are completely they migrated databases to Azure. So where we started using Azure Synapse as well Azure Data Factory.
Mm-hmm.
So then I switched it to TCS.
Okay.
So here in the new project, the entire architecture is based on Azure. So a broad picture is like I felt opportunities are more with Azure when sorry data engineer when compared with other things.
Okay.
Moreover, we need some infrastructure as well to manage all our data.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud can provide more backup and security. That's the reason I'm here.
Okay, great. Good to know. I mean, that you already have some background, so you wanted to additional flavors you wanted to push back to your resume, and you would wanted to explore the set of technology which are there with existing technology or with existing company. That's how you are here. Fine. Thanks. Thanks. It sounds better.
Just a reverse engineering.
Yeah, yeah. Fine. Thank you. Any other? You just, I can understand this one point. Let me put it in this way. If you guys say yes, then I will probably not to take much time from you guys as well. So you would want to add this technology to your resume so that uh, you will get a good exposure one way, and also you would be able to understand the current industry which is booming towards cloud. And cloud, you have a number of things. You can go for any product. You go for AWS, you go for Azure, you go for Google Cloud. You will have several cloud platforms which are available. So what I understood correctly, I mean, there is only one reason when you think about, like, I wanted to go for a data engineering. My primary point is I can just clear in one way, like, if you are good with some analytical part, or if you are good with some operational uses which can be aware of it, so that would be easy for you to showcase your resume and to add some more points, which will help you probably. Or with existing, in some of the companies will have, like, already there are projects which you wanted to explore some more technologies which can help you expertise in a better way. So why I'm asking you, because see, when I'm heading towards a course, I will show you the couple of contents, like what are we going to cover today, and to the rest of the days. So if at all, like, the reason to ask, like, if at all you feel like any additional things can be added, we can merge, because it's again the curriculum is there. But if you feel like the course is giving more insights, which will be probably help you to add some more curriculum, some more context. So that's the reason I was asking you. So we'll complete that. We'll complete the today's session. Later we'll take Q&A. So maybe you will have more questions later that. So we'll see later to that. So before that, I would just take some couple of points. So what I would like to tell you, like, why data engineer. So a couple of points I have in notepad. The primary job, we know that you do a lot of simple, a day by day data is imparting, and it is increasing like anything, terabyte, petabyte. It's huge. So if you really wanted to have analytical part, if you wanted to use it, if you wanted to have the some warehousing part, some, because the business wanted to grow, on what perception you would like to see that. So there are some software engineer which are responsible for to bring the data together, and they would be using it in a different way. You have a different tools in the market. So what is exactly the role of the data engineer? What is the role of data scientist? What is the role of, I will just give you one point of the other set of technologies which we are not talking as part of a course, so that you will get a clarity in that. So the primary job, it is mentioned here, because you prepare a data for analytical and operational uses. The software engineers are typically responsible for building a data pipeline to bring the together information from a different source system. Some simple example, if I can give you the basic rules, I kept it here. Say, like, you have a pipeline centric. You're pulling a data from web and you're converting into a required format. This is what you do. Maybe you for the basic thing, as the basic criteria as a part of prerequisites, require a SQL knowledge, because you do a pipeline centric and you do a database centric. Because here you're pulling the data from the organization DB and you convert into a required format, because somehow you require expertise in database, not uh, a great level of expertise. Some basic understanding of SQL is required. The rest of the things I would also I also mentioned in the course curriculum, like who can do this course. It's not a compulsion who beginner can also do. There is no restrictions on that the data engineer can be only for this people, only for this people, these people cannot do. So that is one thing. Considering the huge amount of data and streamlining the same data in usable format for a various purpose, there is a lot of demand in the data engineering. So considering those things, we came to the conclusion, like, we require data engineers. There is slight close relation between data engineers and data scientists. You can correlate. I mean, data scientists require some data which will be available from data engineers. What data engineers will do, these are the things will data engineers are going to do. So you would be using couple of tools. The responsibilities are, you develop, you construct, you maintain the architecture, You align the architecture to exact requirement, what is actually needed. Simple example, if I give you, I have a very huge company which is tremendously, it is growing like anything. So over a period of time, I need to have some analysis about how frequent my data is growing, what is the requirement of the customer. You take example of Amazon, what type of products are selling on a wider base, which product is selling. So this is what the analysis purpose will be doing it on the organizational level. So I kept it here, the data engineer responsibilities. You would be, because we talk about Azure. Now I am just switching on to the Azure part. I'll take you to the PPT, then I'll come back again. So that's one thing. I mean, if you feel like stopping me, you can stop me. There is no harm in it. So the agenda of our today's discussion is why Microsoft Azure Data Engineer, what is the expected outcomes after learning the course, and who are the audience who can opt for this course, and what you require to learn this course, and course in detail and its curriculum. I have mentioned in this PPT. So as I mentioned about the data engineer, it is just self-explanatory. What I mentioned about, which is the fastest growing in the demand of occupation about the data science and the practitioners.
Hello, sir.
There, yeah, please.
So, sorry for the interrupt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Uh, Sir, I just want to make sure like a data engineer also cleaning the data,
Yes,
using the data pipeline. Like
correct.
whenever they push the like a pipeline, so before he have to clean all the data for the format, or like actually stipend actually format or data type or different situation actually. For the data science, they use the algorithm for also cleaning data. So what's the difference both of them?
So when you talk about data engineering, you have particular tools. Okay, you
Yeah.
align the architecture to exact requirement. Say like I can put it in this way: you have a data acquisitions, you have a programming languages, you have a tools.
Mm-hmm.
What you would do here in data engineering, you will identify the ways to improve the data reliability.
Okay.
Okay, which is not the case with data scientists. Data scientists definitely they require algorithm, they require some type of which you would be getting a data from the data engineers as well. So the most centric point here is, you would be pulling the data from the web, you would be pulling the data from the data organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you will convert that format, you will convert the data into reco format, and you use it in the data engineer. But whereas in your data scientist, you would be using more of data. Partially you would be pulling the data from data engineers, but there you would look for algorithm and you will implement the ideas.
Like
There
for
will be a
data engineer.
statistical, yeah, no,
Yeah.
there will be a
Data science.
statistic. Data science will
Mm-hmm.
be a more of statistical analysis.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, that's only the difference. Partially, by the time you will learning this course, you will understand. But moreover, we are not covering much context into a data scientist. But I would be taking you in the data scientist also.
No, no,
Like,
I'm not. I'm not about the data science.
yeah, no,
Data
no,
scientist. Yeah, I'm just but I'm just confused about the data engineer role, because yeah, now I got it. Like a data
you got
engineer
it
role
right.
is that they're just loading the data from the different organization, for their pre-request, and after loading the data, they might be use like different kind of tool. Like
Correct.
here they are using the Azure Data Factory, or you can use
Eh,
the ETL, any kind
Correct.
of ETL.
You can put
And
it
after,
one way in your mind, like we can improve the data reliability when you think about data engineering
okay,
by using
okay,
several tools, by using several programming languages. That's the best answer for you, and put it in a very short and precise way. Okay.
okay, okay. Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
fine. Yeah.
So for data engineer, they don't focus on the like a data prediction or something. So the
No,
data
no,
science on the after. Okay,
correct.
okay. I got the answer now.
Got it?
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. We'll continue to the same part. Like we are talking about why data engineer, and Shaida asked some question. Hope you guys also cleared. Thanks for asking, Shaida. I mean, asking questions also helps everyone, like whether we are in the same piece or not. Thanks for that. Coming on to the points, the expected outcomes after learning the courses, we will be learning Azure SQL Server, I've just briefly about like what you will be able to identify the right Azure SQL Server deployment options. It does not require anything which you don't know anything in SQL. You if you are zero at Azure, it would be really fine with it. There is no that only the basic prerequisite which are required. You should be having some TSQL understanding. That's it. I mean, we should be walked through about like any type of tools if you are using it, any types of programming languages if you're using it, the logic will be the same. So that's what the expectations. The learning the course, you would be learning after learning the course, you'd be looking at Microsoft Azure SQL Server. And we though although we would be using a free tier, that I will guide you like how we can opt for a free tier, and while doing a practices also we can check. We would be having a free tier for free trial subscription for 1 month, but probably we can check, we can extend it also not to pay any money to Microsoft. And we will also learning a Microsoft Azure data warehousing. Here you would be able to deploy the Azure Synapses Analytics, formerly known as a data warehousing in Azure cloud environment. Here and you would be also looking for a good internals about the MPP architecture and understanding, and you'll be able to analyze your on-premises data warehousing and migrate it to your Azure data warehousing. And we will be talking about Azure data lakes, like how we can use and create a data lake storage accounts and populate the data using the several tools which are available under Azure, and using the Databricks and SD Insight. And also we'll be talking about data factory. And we will be not covering much of Hadoop basics, but what is required for the module, definitely we'll be talking about the Azure basics, the fundamental and the basic understanding of the ecosystem, and the three main building blocks of the Hadoop. And the module will we will be able to learn the big data in Azure cloud using the SD Insights. Again we'll be talking about tools only. And as I mentioned here, we'll be also talking about SD Insight. We'll understand how SD Insight makes a Hadoop easy, and we'll go through the simple demos whenever we practice it with the lab sessions. Whenever we take each topic, and after the topic, we'll taking a demo, and we'll practice that, so that which will make the topics easy for you. And if you go and attend the interview with some questions are coming towards you and they're triggering out, you should be in a position to like, this is what I have experienced it, though you are not in a position to play around with the data, but you know like what exactly it has to be done when questions are coming from the panel like in the interview. So you should be in a position, so we'll take it in that way as well. And we are talking about the cross skill function about the Cosmos DB. The basic concepts we will be covering it, and you will be able to understand how to create the database and the container documents and the right partition key, and configuring the global distribution, and use any other important feature which are required. So we would be talking about the streaming services into the Azure data engineering. Databricks also we are talking about, and storage services. We'll be going through concepts as well as demo. Intended audience, as I mentioned, who a person whom can opt, a beginners, a person who is having a zero knowledge, a person who is into expertise in development, who is expertise at database administration. Like you talk about a beginner in Azure platform, and a Microsoft Azure data engineers also they can opt this course. And we can also data scientists also they can opt this course. Database and BI developers, database administrators, data analyst, and similar profiles about like any type of analyst, business analyst also they can opt it. And any on-premise data related profiles who want to learn and implement these technologies into the Azure cloud, they can opt this course. And also last but not the least, I mentioned anyone who's looking forward to start their career, his or her career in Azure data engineer, they can opt it. There is no harm in it, like we can't go and learn it. It would be always welcome for you guys to learn this course. It would be definitely, it is going to have a hot kick in the market in the next 2 to 3 years. When I started my career, I was application developer. Okay, now I'm a data engineer. I Luckily I was got exposed to several database technologies with the development and with the testing. So that helped me to, but I saw where there is so much of huge demand in the market. So I also, like you, I also learned, I also got an exposure. So in such way, then stabilized myself, like where actually there is a tremendous improvement and where is actual demand, and who, at the end of the day, everyone wants money. So who can pay me better? So that's also a thought process which comes to everyone's mind. So that helped me while I started as an application developer. Then you went it into testing. Then you have a full stack developer. Then you have at the end of the day you have several technologies into the market. Then which one is better? So day by day you will explore yourself. That is also one thing. And as I mentioned about the prerequisites, the basic TSQL you required and database concepts. And you require as a Azure free trial subscription that when we will be doing it as for our lab sessions, whenever we are taking it any demos after clearing the concept, we would be talking about each concept, and followed by we will be doing a practical. So accordingly we'll see. And course in detail, same what expected. Anyone wants to say anything? Shall I
Yeah.
stop? Yeah,
Uh,
please.
no doubt. Here in the course, are we using any schemas like snowflakes, star schema?
No, we are not using any schemas.
Okay,
Do you
so
have
we
any requirement in such a way? Then I can, I mean, we can add it. I mean, you have what, I mean, the requirement is there. Like what? We don't have any schemas in the course curriculum. Yeah.
no. Do we really deal with any schema in Azure platforms?
No, we don't, because it's the product itself. When you talk about data, we don't require any schema part, first of all.
Okay,
Uh, we will be using the default. If you talk about on-prem, the default schemas which available in the market, which available for this SQL server is DBO is one of the default schema. You have a customized schemas, you have it in here, but here in Azure product, in data engineer, we are not using any schemas.
okay, got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, Suresh.
If I talk about the architecture, I'll give you one glimpse of that. The question you asked, simply the architecture which will be built on the hierarchy of how data is being deployed on the cloud. Okay, if I would have the database on my on-prem, I would have definitely have a several schemas into my pocket. I would have by created a customized schemas into my on-prem. When I talk about cloud schemas, cloud will be very limited to such schemas, because they are, if they are creating any customized schemas, they should be in a position to take care of that as well. So that's the reason they have not covered more concepts for schema related thing, but they are securing your data. They are giving assurance, they are giving the reliability, they are giving the scalability for your product, for your data. That's how they are running it now. I mean, that's what I saw over the period of time. Okay.
Okay,
Chandra,
thank
Chandra, right?
Ram Kumar.
Ram Kumar. Okay, Ram. Fine. Yeah. The same thing which I was speaking about, the
Hello, sir.
expected. Yeah, yeah. Please tell me.
So sorry for the interrupt. Sir, one question to you for the Azure Database. Which language you are going to teaching us? Like for the is Python, Spark or Scala
We'll be talking about SQL only.
or
SQL.
only SQL. So
SQL.
you are not for okay. So is SQL with the Spark?
Yeah,
Like
this SQL is sufficient for data engineer, because when you talk about only data engineer, I'm not talking about Azure. When you talk about
okay.
data engineer, there it comes to the picture of Python, there's picture of Scala. There are
Mm-hmm.
different technology which will imbibe and which will help you on the data engineering. You have a
Okay, sir.
different programming language. Here we'll be using basic. That's a prerequisites I mentioned here. If you see here, the basic TSQL and the database concepts is sufficient to cover up our course. And to further certification, what is required, because the course which we are talking about, it is comprised of 202, 201, and 203 is there. 201, 200, and 201 and 20, they merged 201, 20, 200 with 203, DP3 203. So that's a certified Azure data engineer course. So we would be taking some topics from that as well, but this is purely database engineer for Azure, since we are talking about only SQL.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, like they have a have a different language for the SQL, because I thought maybe this is related with the Spark SQL.
No, no, no.
Like
It's only SQL,
no.
TSQL. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That.
one question to you, sorry, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Like why people goes to now Microsoft Azure, not AWS?
If you talk about that question, it's like Microsoft comes with the products which are available in the market. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of cost wise, it is very feasible for the customers. If I can tell you on the simple way, you go to mall and you buy certain things. Okay, you buy one shirt and you go. If you are thinking that you're getting one more shirt free, and definitely you'll buy, right? Buy one get one, such type of offers. Where the Microsoft is in such condition, not just Azure, I'm saying they are very cost. It is very advisable to take customers if you don't have it. It is securable comparatively. Like they started in 2010, the cloud is started comes out around in Microsoft has launched with 2010. So now where they are the topmost they are in the second position. Okay, it is advisable by because the cost effectively which will be there, and most of the customers, my customers, when I work with my customer, most of the customers are there on the cloud with Azure only. There are some customers they are available on AWS as well, but the cost wise it does not go well. And there are some better features which are available in Microsoft Azure which will be talking it, which will be I'll also walk through about the comparison. Like why here we can talk about like AWS is there, why I can say to the customer like you, today we are a normal engineers, tomorrow you will be an SME in engineering, so we should be in a position to understand like our competitor. So there are
Okay,
better
sir.
features which are coming it. Yeah, that's the reason.
And sir, one question to you, I faced a one interview. So that interview, they asked me about the data architect. Do you have any knowledge for the data architect? Like, if you want to do for the data engineer. So whenever I done this course, like
Mhm.
your course, so maybe I'll have the for the data architect knowledge.
Data architect knowledge you'll not be having it, but you would be having definitely a data engineer which will be talking about. When I talk about data architect goes with your designing, more of your you will be onto the planning side. You will be
Okay.
giving an architecture, complete architecture. If I give you some idea, like I have 2 to 3 servers in my environment, I don't know what type of setup I have to be, but I have to ensure that my data has to be very critical, and I have to ensure my data is in place. That's approach I take it. So I want you to draw architecture diagram for me. I wanted you to guide in that position, but we are not covering that data architecting here. That's a
Uh,
separate context. That's a
yeah,
separate context.
I just this
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
fine. That's
just
fine.
want to know my
The questions are always
clarification.
welcome.
And one question, like I got your documents, course details. So in that course details, I saw like for the Azure database, you are going to teach us like Steam analytics on a Spark. So for this Spark is only for SQL.
Yeah, it is equal.
Okay, but that's why I'm asking to you, like a Spark SQL or only
No, it is TSQL.
SQL.
It is TSQL only.
Yeah, and sir, but you are going to teach us like Power BI for data visualization.
Power BI is not covered.
But I got course details before you were into this today's demo
Power
class.
BI. Okay.
But like I don't know. Maybe I thought maybe you
You
will.
will go through. I mean, I whatever the course details you have it. We'll talk about that. What index you have it, you share it with me. We'll talk. Okay.
Okay, okay. Now or after the demo?
Yeah, sure, sure. No problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
after the demo class, I will
yeah, yeah.
share with you.
No
Okay,
problem.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The curriculum which I have already mentioned them just here outcomes what you are learning after the course. So here I just put it in a very points wise, like what you will be learning from Azure SQL Server. You will be knowing the advantages of SQL databases over on-premises. You'll be able to provision all three types of Azure databases, past deployments, that your single, elastic, and managed instances. You will be learning different purchasing models and service tiers, how to configure them according to the requirements. And you would be talking about the virtual machines, IaaS. You would be in a position to uh, deploy about the elastic pool database and able to add and remove more databases from the pool. Yes. And you will also talk about the managed instances. So people who already have a bit of experience in Azure, they already have a well versed with this part. It's not something rocket science which you are going to talk, but these are the important things. This thing, Synapses Analytics Services. These are the couple of very important points which we'll be talking it with our demo sessions. What is required? I've same points, I've just put it out here in a very detailed way. That's only the difference. I would have not added this. I would have shared with you guys so that you will have a track whenever we're taking any course. So but I've added here as well. Just I'll walk through about the requirement, about the analytics services. And here what we consider about, we'll be talking about why we should consider the warehousing solutions in the cloud. And you will be learning about the Microsoft brand new Synapses and analytics services, and how these are going to bring your data warehousing and big data to to improve your business, and what are the ML needs, machine learning needs. That also we're going to talk. You learn the difference between traditional and modern Synapses architecture. And one more thing, maybe a couple of points I might have not covered in this PPT, but I will be adding to this. We'll be talking about the architecture as well. We'll be talking about all the architectures well in advance. Whenever we take any topic, we'll be talking about the architecture. What my approach is to teach whenever I take up class. My approach is very clear. If I am clear with my architecture, if I know these all the add-ons which are available in the market, these are the things which are I'm learning some course with some context. If I'm clear with the architecture, things will be so easy for you. I'm telling you, there is nothing that rocket science is available in the market like which you can't even learn. There will be a logic. The logic we always we what happened to us, the logic we forgot. So, the development with people spectacle about the development. I don't know development how I can go. They don't even give an approach. First of all, if you just touch to that, the taste of the hardcore thing which are available, and you'll understand exactly what happens. When you start a career, it was different. When I started a career, it was different totally. Over a period of time, now it's 12 years for me. So now I learn the knowing the technology day by day, day by day, day by day. So it gives you a exposure in a better way, and you can stand in the market, and you can with with much clarity, you can ask customer, you can speak to the team, you can provide your insights and ideas to the team. That's the reason I speak about the architecture. It is going to help you. Believe me, irrespective of whatever the context, I'll put a diagrammatic way, or I'll talk architecture. It is going to help you. You also make a habit of that. Like anything you are talking about, you have some project. You think about the project, even that person is not giving you any architecture. You whatever the data you into your pocket, try to put it in a diagrammatic way. Word is there. Word will help you in a very better way. If you are a very expert in MS Microsoft Word, that will help you put it in a very diagrammatic way. That's one thing. Just that's an add-on. Yeah. Here I am talking about, you will be learning the internal concepts like data distribution, sharding, and partitioning. You'll be learning different migration methods and best practices, and you will learn polybus setup. You will perform a lot of demos about the migration of your Azure data warehousing. We'll be using SSIS definitely. We'll be using data factory and polybase mechanism. So here I also added a couple of other things which I've already added in detail. I put it here. Uh, Microsoft Azure Data Lakes we'll be talking about, and traditional database system, which we will be having a very big revolutionaries. You have a immense increase in the data and you feel like how you can control and how you can make sure that reliability is there. So that those things you're going to talk. You'll be able to create Azure data lakes or storage accounts, and you'll be populating it data and analyze it using the USQL language. So anyone have idea about USQL language? It's TSQL is one thing, TSQL is other thing, and USQL is any idea? Hello?
No idea.
No idea. It's simple. I mean, basically you merge with C programming language with your TSQL statements. Your logic is same everywhere. Once you know the syntax, this is going to be easy, much easier than your regular programming languages. So we are going to just use somewhere in between. Whenever the Azure portal will itself, like we use Command Explorer, there we'll be writing it. I'll show you there. So once you know the syntax, then you can create here. And we'll be talking about Azure Data Factory as well, and those key components of data factories and advantages over it. And you'll be able to create and schedule and monitor the simple pipelines. Okay. And as I mentioned, we'll be talking about Hadoop basics, how you can utilize the Hadoop over your data engineering, and we by using SD Insights. You'll be learning the basic fundamentals of this ecosystem and blocks. We'll also going to start learning about the big data in Azure cloud. We'll be learning that with the demos as well. Okay. And yeah, the summary of what curriculum we discussed here, and what are we going to cover, uh, how it is, what you are learning, what is the takeaway. I've just put it across here, and I'll just share this with you guys. I'll share to Ganesh will share this PPT to you guys, so you can walk through it. It will probably give you some idea. So once we could see that what we saw, exactly what my understanding to you all, like, when I'm putting so much of effort to learning some new technology, is this necessity? I am learning this course to, definitely I want to expose my resume to, or to be on the wider way. The panel should see, and but you have to make it, and what I'm learning I should be knowing it before. If I'm learning this course, I'm putting some money here, I should be aware of that what I'm doing it. If we know that, then the purpose, then that's fine. I mean, it's not like market is heavy. You have a number of things in the market, we can learn as much as we can. Do the best what you're doing it. I mean, give some time for the practice, that is must. If you don't give some time for the practice, you're learning it, and maybe you have a very packed time, you will be working and you are managing things in such a way, you wanted to work and you wanted to learn also, that's a better thing. Even I do the same, but practicing is much more required for us. So that is the summary. You can just go through it, the same points I have written here, what we learned it in a very concise way I put it. So probably which would be able to help you how we can take it and how we can practice it. Fine. I mean, I am done with the session. I mean, overall, like I wanted to give you the walkthrough, what we are going to cover it, and how are we going to see. And if any additional things are there, we can definitely merge with that. There is no harm in it. It will expose you in a better way. That's only my intention. Just yeah. Thank you. You can, if you have any questions, you can ask me now. We have some 5 to 10 minutes time, I believe, so we can talk so that it can clear you for you guys. Hope it's, if I'm not if my pace is too much fast, you can stop me in between. There is no harm in it, man. Everyone is learning, so you can stop me in between. You feel like it's going bouncer, I can stop. I'll take it again, no problem. Fine, guys, you can have any questions. Hello.
Hello, Suresh Ramkumar this side.
Yeah, Ram, please.
Uh, uh, I am totally confused with Azure Data Lake and Azure Data Factory.
Azure Data Lake and Azure Data Factory. I
Uh,
mean, like how? When confusion means what?
like, what are the exactly? What does Azure Data Lake do, and what does Azure Data Factory do?
Okay. Azure
So,
Data Lakes is something, I mean, it's a warehouse concept. You talk about data factory, right? A data
o-
lake is something you have some capabilities. It's more of your big data analytics, man. You're putting into some blob storage. Okay. Data lakes is nothing but some storage.
so it's purely a storage account.
Yeah, it's simply you allow you some interface. You putting some data into some file system or some storage paradigms.
Okay.
That's it. And you talk about data factory, it is fully managed. I can put it in this way to make you more aware. Like it's fully managed, a cloud-based services. It's a service.
Okay.
It's a service.
So
It's clear.
where we do our ETL activities through Data Factory, right?
Correct. Correct. That's it. I mean, the naming convention makes much more confusing. If I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
the concept is very simple. Yeah. Fine. It's fine, Ram.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Yeah, guys. Anyone else? Shaida, you have something you were saying about she left.
Um,
You there?
yes, sir.
Yeah, you were
Sir,
saying
I'm I'm confused, sir. Because why people ask about the Python whenever they ask for the data engineer role? That's why I'm confused.
you're confused about data engineer. See, data engineer, if I talk about simple data engineer, you would be guiding about a number of platforms. Okay.
Yes,
TSQL,
sir.
we are talking about a data Azure data engineer.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So in that context, you would be not talking about Python. See, there are a couple of tools which are available in the market. I can
So,
mention in
sir,
this way.
is it okay? Like if I have knowledge only the SQL,
Yeah, that's
like
that's fine for Azure data engineering.
yeah,
See,
that's the confusion with
so
me.
simple. I'll put it in this way. You have some tools in the market which are available. Okay.
Yeah.
You store a data, you organize the data, you manage the data. It is very huge value. For that, what criticality are you using? For data engineering you're using. For use to use the data engineering, you would be having understanding of database design and architecture, which is very much crucial. Irrespective of whatever the language you use, it is SQL or no SQL, or it is Python, it is any type of ingestion tools which are available. It is fine.
Yeah. I don't know, like because I already faced a interview, so that's why I'm confused because that time they asked me about like which one you are used for, Spark or Scala. You got my
Okay,
point, sir.
I got
So
it.
if I replied them like no, I just use the like SQL, maybe they
Because see, simple, I can put it in this way again. When they say about Spark or Scala,
Scala.
okay,
Yeah.
these are the distributed systems. Okay, these are the
Mm-hmm.
distributed system which are available in your cloud platforms. It is
Yes.
available in your Azure, it is available in your AWS.
On premise or AWS.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And now here, what you require as a part of strong programming skills, one programming language, it is must required. They say that either you require Python or you require Scala or you require Java. Okay,
Actually, they didn't like I didn't face anyone on one of them yeah, like for the sequel only sequel. That's something. Yeah, I know. Like without sequel, but I cannot work with the Spark because
correct,
mostly I have to focus on the sequel side because
correct, correct.
yeah, for the Python, I just here I don't need to for Azure database. I don't need to import or anything. Here already everything is automatic created because
Mm,
the session are automatic created. If I work on my on-premise like a Jupyter. So that time, like pandas have to install in there.
For
But
Azure
here,
data engineer, what skills will be required is like you should be knowing about the designing, you should be knowing about the implementation of any data
Mhm.
storage, of any data processing, and you should be knowing about the data security, and you
Yes,
should be knowing about how you optimize and data storage and processing. These are only
yeah,
the maximum roles you do it in your Azure data engineer. You would be talking, definitely you would require a development, no matter what. Different type of companies will use different programming language, but at the most which you required for Azure data engineer is basic SQL. That's what I said. But see,
okay.
over a period of time you'll understand. When you with the question which you triggered right now, which you're going to get a more clarity, where they will use Scala, where they will use Spark. Okay, I mean,
Yes,
not to
sir.
get more confused about that thing, because getting more questions at the first day or the initial day is much more easy. I mean, it's too good.
Yeah, I no, no. I'm thinking, oh my God, the teacher only teach me like a SQL, but so who gonna also teach me the Python side? So again, I'll hire another trainer. So that's why I'm confused. So
Spark,
now I'm clear
Spark,
actually.
Spark, yeah, Spark. See, I'll put it in this way: is like you know ML, right?
Yeah, machine
ML,
learning.
yeah, ML, streaming, SQL, graphics. These
Yes,
are
sir.
imbibed in your Scala and in your Spark. I'm using a
Yes.
SQL. I'm not using any streaming. Like real-time analytics, I'm not doing. I'm doing a interactive queries.
Okay.
Machine learning is for what?
Yeah,
When you
actually, machine learning also they focus on the data side for also focus
correct.
on the actually okay, that depend on the like when the project is coming, so that time depends on the side like which things you are gonna focus, like you are now you're talking me like you are sorry sir, I forgot like you are talking the separate things for the data
I'm
engineer, but
talking, yeah, I'm talking about only SQL in one of,
optimization,
yeah,
yeah.
only in processing, in securing, in storing my data, and I'm designing. You talk about
Or you
architect,
also
right?
designing. Okay.
Yes, we'll be designing also, we'll be developing also. But here, what I'm using as interactive queries with SQL. I'm not using any
Okay.
graph processing. I'm not using any real-time analytics like a streaming. Real-time analytics streaming is nothing but your Amazon, the Prime videos, Netflix. What
Okay.
more you have?
Yeah.
You have n number of OTT platforms. Those real-time analytics I'm not doing. I'm doing interactive queries analysis with Azure. Okay.
Uh, okay. So, but if any project, if I whenever I work on the company, if any project is coming on for the streaming, so that
hmm
time I can use the SQL.
Yeah, you can use. I mean, there you can bifurcate like what type of project it is there. You can use SQL definitely as a front end, because if it is an interactive for streaming, yes, you can use it.
Okay.
You will get it. You'll get, if you ask yourself more question, you'll get more confused, I would say. I hope it's
Okay.
it's getting clear partially somehow.
Yeah. It's I actually yeah I understand. Yeah, it's clear. For the
hmm
SQL you can use because it's depend whatever what you want to choose.
Correct.
This is your choice. Yeah, I
Correct.
got it. Yeah, but I go to with the Python. That's why I don't wanna miss the Python. It's
Still you
okay.
can use that. Still you can use that.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do.
fine.
And for the people also like very much look for the data factory, Azure data factory. Sometimes they need Azure signups, but here, sir, you teach us for the Azure data factory. Okay,
Yes,
I have
that's a
the
part of,
documents actually.
yeah, that's a part of your course. Synapse is there, Data Factory is there.
Yeah, the data factory.
We'll be
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah,
you are teacher with us like monitoring, schedule, and the integration. So, uh, okay, that's it actually. Monitoring they asked. This
okay.
is so important. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Fine. Anyone else? If if we don't have any questions, then probably like I can hand over. to Ganesh if he's available. Is there?
Suresh, one more last question.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
yeah, I know that I'm doing a backward integration,
Mm-hmm.
Power BI to Azure,
Okay.
and recently uh, I read somewhere that even in Azure we do have analytics visualizations. Is it true?
So you are doing a replication or a normal backward integration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there in Azure.
Okay. Okay.
It's there. It's there in Azure. The backward thing.
So even we have building visualizations just like in Power BI, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Same thing.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Fine. Uh,
Yeah, hi. Any other questions? Mastan, Ram.
No questions, guys.